Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Angie Caney and my channel, Tink's Treasures. So I don't know about you, but ever since Joann's has closed, I've been wandering around wondering, where do crafters shop now? I really didn't realize how much I relied on Joann until it was gone. It was kind of my one-stop shop. If I needed fabric for sewing, yarn for crochet, cardstock for card making, adhesive, ribbon, they had a little bit of everything. Was it always the cheapest? No, but it was convenient, especially when you could stack those coupons. So today I thought I'd take you along while I check out a couple of the stores I've been shopping at lately. And I'll also share some local places here in the Phoenix area if you're looking for alternatives. My first stop is Walmart. Now, Walmart has definitely stepped up their craft department over the last few years. Is it Joann? No, but honestly, it's better than I expected. For fabric, they have a nice selection of pre-cut bundles. If you're making smaller sewing projects, you're obviously not going to find rows and rows of quilting cotton, but if you just need something for a quick project, it's worth taking a look. My store is actually a small store, so I was surprised and pleased to find that they actually carry a lot of the name brand products like Cricut. They have all the tools for Cricut. They have a nice little selection for picking up some paper supplies. And then they also have, I don't want to call this generic, but this is more of a section that you're going to do maybe some random supplies and crafts with kids. Like here's the little kid craft selection, but they also carry a ton of other stuff. This is the wood that you can customize, paint, decoupage. So it's good to have a good supply of all of these little crafts on hand, and I am very happy that Walmart has this. Now, for their yarn selection is actually pretty decent too. I usually find the basics here, Red Heart, Mainstay, and a few other brands. So if you're looking to make blankets or everyday crochet projects, Walmart can definitely get the job done. And they do have some basic supplies as far as crochet hooks and the like. And then, of course, they carry basic supplies, like I said, the paints, the vinyl, Cricut materials, glue, and some of the paper crafting supplies. It's kind of become my I'm here, so let's get something. And we can't forget about Hobby Lobby. I would like to say this store would be compared to Joann's just because it's larger and it seems like it should carry more, but to be honest, it carries a lot of home goods, which is nice if you're shopping for knickknacks and kitschy stuff. But for paper supplies and crocheting or maybe knitting, I don't knit, so I don't know if the yarn is as good for knitting, but they carry their brand. I love this yarn. And a friend of mine does like this particular yarn, but I think we're limited to that as the brand that they carry at Hobby Lobby. They don't carry other brands. And then for paper crafting, they also mostly only carry the Paper Studio line for paper crafting, which is nice also, sort of. It's not as quality as other paper lines out there. Their fabric selection is very sparse. I have tried to purchase. They're specifically looking for what I need, and they rarely ever have what I need. So I want to say Hobby Lobby is an alternative, but that's really like my last resort. Now, moving on to Michael's. Michael's has probably become my closest replacement for Joann. They've always had a paper crafting supplies, but I feel like they've really been expanding into some of the categories that Joann used to carry. Well, I was talking with one of the associates, at my Tremonto, Arizona location, they told me something that I thought was really interesting. They're expecting to start carrying pre-cut fabric in about 2 to 3 weeks. I don't know exactly how large the selection will be yet, but it's nice to see they're reorganizing and there's a need now that Joann is gone. Of course, Michael's still has yarn, Cricut supplies, and card making supplies, even seasonal decor. So it's definitely worth checking out. Now, if I'm looking specifically for paper crafting supplies, honestly, I do most of my shopping online these days. My favorites are Anna Griffin, HSN, scrapbook.com, and of course, Amazon. Anna Griffin is one of my weaknesses. If you've watched this channel for any amount of time, you already know that. HSN has some great crafting bundles and they do carry Anna Griffin, so a lot of times you can get some good deals there, take advantage of their where they only bill you 1, 2, or 3 times. I forget what that's called at the moment. And then scrapbook.com has just about everything you can imagine for card making and scrapbooking, and they carry all of the name brands. So you're sure to find whatever you're looking for there. You just need to wait a few days for shipping. And then we have Amazon. Amazon is great when you just need like adhesive, storage, or maybe some tools or just something quickly. I have purchased yarn from them and I've always been satisfied with that, knowing what I was buying to begin with. Now, I do have one local scrapbook store called Scraps of Love that I absolutely love. The only downside is it's about 42 miles round trip for me. So I don't get over there nearly as often as I would like. And if it were closer, trust me, they would know me by name. And then for fabric stores, if you're looking specifically for fabric here in the Phoenix area, there are actually more options than I realized. There's SAS Fabric, which is kind of a closeout fabric store. You never know what you're going to find there, and sometimes that's half the fun if you have the time to search. There's Fabric Depot, which specializes more in upholstery fabric, if that's what you're looking for. And then there's Mole Queens. If you're a quilter or sewer, Mole Queens is definitely worth a visit. They're a sewing machine dealer and a repair shop, and I've just recently used them to fix my 6-head multi-needle machine, and they did an amazing job. But they also have an excellent selection of quilting cottons. I actually enjoy shopping there because it's one of the places where the staff really knows about sewing. For art supplies, when I searched for craft stores around the Phoenix area, I Googled and also suggested the Arizona Art Supply. From what I can tell, it looks like it's geared more towards artists than paper crafters, but it still might be worth checking out. So if you're into painting, drawing, mixed media, or other fine art supplies, this would be a place to check out. Now for yarn, this is the category I need to explore more. When I searched for local yarn stores, I actually found 7 independent shops around the valley. There's Phoenix Knits, The Yarnmonger, Coil Run Needlework, Family Arts Needle Shop, Compass and Crow Studio, which is actually pretty close to me, and they even offer classes. Tempe Yarn and Fiber, and The Yarn Parlor. Now, I'll be honest, I've never been inside any of these. Part of me has always assumed these stores carry higher end specialty yarns, and as kind of an intermediate crocheter, I've always felt like that might be a little bit out of my league. But maybe that's just me making assumptions. Honestly, I probably should go check them out because supporting local businesses is always a good thing. And who knows, I might find a new favorite yarn. So that's kind of where I'm shopping these days now that Joann is gone. It's definitely different. Instead of making a one-stop shop, I feel like I'm shopping in several different places depending on what I need. Paper crafting comes from one place, fabric from another, yarn comes from somewhere else. It's just taken a little more planning than what I am used to, but I have to admit, I still miss Joann. There was just something nice about walking into one store and knowing you could probably find almost everything on your shopping list. Now, I'd like to hear from you. Where are you shopping from now that Joann is gone? Have you discovered a new hidden gem in your area? Do you have a favorite local yarn shop or fabric store that everyone should know about? Leave your comments and recommendations in the comment section below. I would really like to hear from you, and maybe those in the Phoenix area would learn something new. So let me share with you what I picked up at Walmart next. Let me show you what I got while I was at Walmart. So I had intended, to be honest, to be able to pick up some of these supplies at Michael's. I thought Michael's would have a better selection, but they did not. So I did go ahead and pick these up at Walmart. I'm glad I did because I was at Walmart first. And this is what I grabbed. So I grabbed some white smooth cardstock, and this is a brand I haven't tried before. It's called Hello Hobby at Walmart, and I picked this up to do some coloring with my alcohol markers. So I got two choices here to choose from and try out. So this one is a white smooth cardstock, and it is bound at the top. That's not my first choice, but if it works, it works. That's great. And then I'm trying out Be Inspired, and this was all in their little crafts section. So this is artist quality 4 markers. So I'm going to give this a try too. This feels thinner than the cardstock. This is 24 pound, and this is 121 pounds. Wow, that's really thick. So it'll be interesting to see how well these, I'm not a professional colorist, but I do have some images that I have been creating for my digital channel on Etsy, Tink's Treasures, and I wanted to give them a try before I listed them. So that's what that paper is for. And then I wanted some pink cardstock for another project I had here, and I picked up this, and there's 30 sheets in here, and it is, again, 121 pounds or 180 GSM. And this is a nice smooth cardstock as well. Again, it's bound at the top. That's not my favorite. There's a little perforated tab here that you're gonna, need to clean up. But for the purpose that I was using it for was fine. I was just putting it in front of a binder to make everything all nice and matchy-matchy. But I do plan to use this, and it'd be nice to be able to have a backup source for when I'm running out of cardstock. I don't have a lot of stores around me. So this is what I have from my trip to Walmart. So let me know where you like to get your supplies. Are you an online shopper, or do you want to be in person so that you can, test and feel what it looks like? Because you don't get that when you're buying online unless it's something you've already purchased. So I'm curious to know what everybody chooses to do. So again, if you've made it this far to the video, thank you so much. Again, I am working on my channel. I am almost up to 1,600 subscribers. I would like to be able to get to 2,000 by the end of the year. So if you wouldn't mind giving me a like and a subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. And I like to say it is free for you to do, but priceless to me. So until next time, happy crafting. Bye.